This is Solo P1. Welcome to the F1 2023 Singapore GP weekend. Yep, we're not doing the qualifying this weekend. We're doing an all-in-one wrap, a two-in-one offer. That's what we're doing, a two-in-one offer. So we're going to be talking about qualifying, and we're going to be talking about the race day as well. But look, before we get into the weekend, all this controversy regarding Helmut Marko, I'm not shocked. Not shocked at all. We all know what they're really like. Red Bull. They are a toxic team. Big up John Conway. They are a toxic team. Now listen, we know that Karun, yep, commentator for Sky Sports. We all know that the Karun is a cheerleader for Max Verstappen and the Red Bull. But not even Karun could defend this one. He was impeding. He was up for 3 charges, by the way. 3 charges. One just disappeared. I don't know what happened to the third charge. But the first charge was he was impeding Tsunoda in the pit lane, not on the track. The second one, it was impeding Lewis Hamilton in the pit lane. It was holding up 2 drivers. Now, in the F1 book, the FIA book, which is not really worth anything today, when you're talking about Red Bull, in the book, it clearly says, if you impede another driver, that's a 5-second time penalty. Boom, it's a wrap. No argument, no appealing. That's the rules. Pierre Gasly got one this year for holding up someone in the pit lane. Pierre Gasly, he got a 5-second time penalty. Not a reprimand, but a 5-second time penalty. Karun said himself, I'm not the biggest Karun fan. Everybody knows I'm not the biggest Karun fan. If you follow me on the F1, everybody knows I do not like Karun. But Karun come out and clearly said, Max Verstappen should have got a penalty. Very simple. Very simple. But he never got a penalty. He got away with it. Put that filter there. Again, he got away with it. Now, Red Bull got away with it. No penalty. No penalty at all. That's F1 for you. Helmut Marko getting a slap on the wrist for being racist to Checo. Helmut Marko, you should be retired, bro. You should be retired. You've got no place in Formula One with your ideology. We do not want you in Formula One. Helmut Marko! We do not want you in Formula One. You're racist. You was racist to Checo. And what did Formula One go and do? Oh, yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to give him a warning. So all this is during the weekend, by the way, bro. All this is during the weekend. So he was racist to Checo. They cheated. And by the way, when they was appealing it, the team, AlphaTauri, yeah, Red Bull's second team, the second team, they conveniently never turned up for the meeting. They were supposed to turn up for the meeting and argue their case for Max Verstappen to get a penalty. But for some reason, they didn't get the memo. No, they didn't get the memo. They didn't get the fax machine. They didn't get the email. They didn't get the text. They never got the word that they were supposed to go to a meeting to appeal their own driver's impediment. Their own driver, Tsunoda, got impeded by Max Verstappen live on TV. But the team owner of AlphaTauri, which is a Red Bull team, like a partnership, he didn't turn up. He conveniently didn't turn up for the meeting. And that's why Max Verstappen basically got away with it. That's Formula One for you, bro. That's Formula One for you in 2023. Max can run over somebody on the track. He still ain't going to get a penalty. Max can crash into 5 cars. Still ain't going to get a penalty. Still ain't going to get a penalty. It's very simple. Very, very, very simple. But today, I've got a special guest. First we got Toto Hammer. He always joins us when we just add him to the stream. And we've also got Sporty Boy. I'm gonna get you on the screen, guys. There you go. We've got Sporty Boy in the house, and we've got Toto Hammer.
Yeah, man.
There's Big John Conway. Big up for yeah, your camera's good. Move it a little. Yeah. Basically, I just had to get that off my chest. I was talking about the Helmut Marko situation. I was talking about Yuka Tsunoda. That Yuka Tsunoda got impeded, right, by Max Verstappen, and they were supposed to go. The team principal of AlphaTauri, which we all know is a Red Bull team, yeah, it's still under the Red Bull umbrella. They must have done some deal behind the back because their driver got impeded in qualifying. That cost him, it basically cost him a lap, yeah. And then he went to the stewards, Red Bull, and then the team principal of AlphaTauri was supposed to go to the meeting to argue his driver's case. But what happened? It conveniently never showed up, and that's why Max got away with it. How corrupt is that team? How corrupt is Red Bull? And I know I'm not going to go on it a lot yet. I just want to get that off my chest because at the end of the day, I will be doing a flaming time-up video on it tomorrow, but I just have to get that off my chest because we're talking about the whole weekend and I want to gloss over it just briefly. But what do you think about this situation regarding Red Bull, the toxicity continue every week, and the fact that the AlphaTauri boss didn't turn up for the meeting to argue for his own driver's impediment?
Yeah, I've never heard so much rubbish in my life, in my opinion. I never heard so much rubbish in my life. Yeah, Red Bull is just... They need to be out of Formula 1 ASAP, man. Look, that team, I've never known such a corrupt team like Red Bull. It's unbelievable. They're racist, they're corrupt.
Oh, yeah.
And of how many history...
And I'm proud to say it as well.
I can always refer back to Abu Dhabi 2021, where the safety car situation about the back markers. They let past some back markers, but some back markers were still like in the midfield. They were still like, you know, they'll still interfere in the race. Usually, what they're supposed to do is let all the back markers do a whole full lap, which should have ended on a safety car. It should have ended on a safety car, really, because all the back.
Carry on. We lost Toto. Have we lost Toto?
Just corrupt. I can always refer back to Abu Dhabi 2021. Yeah, that amount of corruptness they had, especially this season, about when the car was just unstoppable. The reason why they changed the car is like it reminds me of the Braun 2009. They had a double diffuser, winning after race after race after race of that double diffuser. One of the fastest cars probably then in that era. And as soon as they were like winning the championship far way ahead, that's when they changed the car. And it's giving me like flashbacks to that. And Red Bull, the reason they changed one little thing on the car, look, you see the F1 cars, if you change one little thing like a wing or something like that, it will make some big damage to the car, make some big performance loss, and that's what happened to Red Bull today. Plus, the track don't suit them. But again, even though the track don't suit them, it should be at least finishing top 5, top 4, definitely. But you can see the car is slowing down a bit as soon as the relegation says something. But there's no point. They should have done that, yeah, at the beginning of the season. Then it probably would have been a better season.
Yeah, I echo that. Maybe it's a little too late. I don't know. But at the end of the day, right, we know about the Red Bull car, but regarding these rules that Red Bull continue to break, just move these around. The cameras are messing around. That's it. Red Bull continue to break these rules, and they're getting away with it. They keep getting away with it. You know what I mean? They continue to get away with it. And it seems like they're just, look, we all know that, look, someone's getting paid off somewhere regarding this situation. Someone's getting paid and nobody's doing it or not. Big up, again, big up to John Conway, to big up
Big
Toto.
up Conway, man.
So what's your thoughts on it, though? What do you think? Look, we know we got the thing about the Massa thing, Michael Massa trying to get his world title back. There was interviewing Toto the other day, and I was saying to Toto, this was during qualifying session. There was interviewing Toto, and I said to Toto, what's it? Do you know what's going on with this situation regarding Lewis Hamilton and Michael and Massa from the 2028 season? I think it was 2028 when Lewis won the spotlight on the last lap. And the 2028, and it done with Massa. And he goes, look, we're following it very carefully. And he basically said, look, if they allow Massa to try and appeal this, they're going to appeal this Abu Dhabi 2021, because it says in the rules, if it's been over 5 years, I think it's been over 5 years, you can't appeal it in the courts or the courts of arbitration. The FIA won't allow it. But if they allow this with Massa trying to appeal it, then they're going to appeal basically Abu Dhabi 2021, because that's what Toto was basically saying. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
I know.
So anyway, Sporty Boy, how you doing, bro? Anyway, he's not there. So basically,
I'm doing all right, to be honest.
Oh, he's still there. So what do you think of the race today? I mean, the race. We're gonna go through the qualifying in a minute. But what did you think of the race today?
I think it was a good race, to be honest, because the thing is, I bet at the beginning of the season that Verstappen was going to win every single race, and I lost that bet today. But I think
who was that? That bet was with me as well, by the way.
Yeah, it was solo.
Yeah, it was.
And then without Max Verstappen actually winning, it was actually a fun race. I can't believe George Russell, went into that wall. I think we could have got a free British podium today, but
we could.
It is what it is, isn't it? But I know, but like Carlos defending off, and you know what my conspiracy theory is? I feel like Carlos was helping Norris because they're both friends in it.
You were right. You're right about that. The conspiracy theory. I think Carlos Sainz, after the Grand Prix, I think he was getting interviewed by, I don't know who it was. It was someone on Sky, and basically the way he was talking about it, he basically did. He said he helped Lando out because he knew if he actually said it. He said if I helped out Lando, he knows that will keep the Mercedes behind Lando, because Lando will basically keep getting the DRS. That's what you're referring to, Sporty Boy.
Yep.
And I agree with bro, because I think after Sainz basically said that's what he was doing. So he's not a conspiracy theory. You're right, Sporty Boy. But what did you think of the whole weekend? I know, are you glad that Max never won, obviously, because you're a Mercedes fan? But obviously you're neutral on here as well, but we know what Mercedes is like. But man. Big up, man. Big up, Vrum Vrum. You're new to the stream. Thank you very much for your positive comments.
Big up, man.
If you like Formula One, just follow me on Twitter, and we'll try and get a little group together. I'm trying to form a little group together and to discuss Formula One, maybe a space. Thank you, new subscriber. Thank you very much, Vrum Vrum. Thank you for your positive energy. Anyway, Vrum Vrum, why don't you we're doing a stream on my channel and also Toto Hammer's channel as well. So go to Toto Hammer and basically you slap the subscribe, and Sporty Boy as well. So Sporty Boy, if you want to put your link in the chat now, and Toto, if you want to put your link in the chat.
I'm going to do it now.
And then you can go and subscribe. Thank you very much, Vrum Vrum. I love your name, by the way. But anyway, Sporty Boy, you're happy about the weekend. But I would have loved it if it was a British podium.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get the British podium, man.
Imagine that if we would have got the British podium. Imagine that. Yeah. Imagine that. You know what? You know what the commentators were saying? The commentators were saying that maybe they said this was if it would have been a British podium. And I'm surprised that the commentators wasn't selling it, They weren't even selling it. They only sold it right at the end. So you had Carlos Sainz in the front, and then you had the 3 British drivers behind him, the McLaren and the 2 Mercs chasing Carlos Sainz, And I was thinking, please get a British podium. It would have been nice. Commentators sold it at the end and said the last time there was a British podium was in 1968. So that was a long, long time ago. It was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed this race. I said to one of my bros yesterday, I said to him, look, watch this race. It's going to be a good race. It's going to be a good race. I said, trust me, go and watch it. So, Toto Hammer. We're going to start getting into the qualifying. Sporty boy, we're going to start getting to the qualifying. So we're going to start with this. So basically during qualifying, we know, I think it was Q2, Lance Stroll came off the track and basically smashed his car up. When I saw that, I was a bit nervy. I was a bit nervy with what happened with Lance Stroll. When you look at stuff like that, it doesn't matter if you don't like the driver. I like Lance Stroll. I think he's a brilliant driver. I think he needs a little bit more, maybe needs to learn a bit more off Alonso, but I think he's a good driver. When I saw Lance Stroll go into the barrier, I just thought to myself, I just hope he's all right, because you don't wish that on your worst enemy. I don't like Max Verstappen. Everybody knows I don't like Max Verstappen. That's just the way it is. Okay, but I do not want to see him hurt himself and go into a barrier. I'm not an idiot, you know. Sometimes you have to have sympathy for people. It's part of being human. So when you saw that when you saw Lance Stroll go into the qualifying total, what did you think about it?
Yeah,
I think it was Q1, and the Q1, I think.
Yeah, it was a bit. Look, the way he went to that barrier, came off a fast bend, and you know, as soon as you come off that fast bend, man, you know, as soon as you slip, it's going to be a big, huge impact when you go into that barrier. And Lance Stroll, look, I hope he's okay, man. He's okay now. I'm glad that nothing else bad happened. Okay, yeah. And I think I think after the crashes, you have to go to hospital or the doctors to get himself checked on. That said, he's okay.
I know, but I'm asking you, what do you think?
Yeah, what I think, it was a bad crash end of the day, and I hope nothing worse actually happened. Like with Hamilton, Verstappen at Monza, hope nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You mean when Max Verstappen? You mean when Max Verstappen walked off and left him there?
Yeah, didn't even check on him either. So look, I hope.
Yeah.
Look, Stroll's okay, and that's all what matters.
Guys, we've got a few people in the chat room. Smash, even though we've got ones joined 11th, 2023. Smash the like button. Smash it. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. So Lance Stroll came off and he really hurt himself because he weren't in the race today. I felt sorry for him. I think he really wanted to race this. I remember I saw an interview at the beginning of the weekend that he was really excited. I think the way he slipped is when he hit one of the corners, he went over the curb, hit the curb, he spun and he went into the barrier. Because Martin Brundle was talking about it, that there's a curb there on the corner. Because I watch everything you see. When I watch Formula One, I'm going to watch the entire weekend, detail to detail to detail. Because when I come and do these videos, guys, on this channel, I know what I'm talking about. It's not about arrogance, it's about basically watching the product. So basically, he came over the curb, he hit the curb, he went boom, straight into the barrier, and he spun. But the thing about it, his team manager was talking to him on the microphone, and then when he got out of the car, he was fine. So I thought automatically he was going to come back today and start racing. But they said on the commentary, they said on the news that he's going to miss it. He's going to miss it. He's going to come back in Suzuka, but he said he doesn't feel right. He's going to come back in Suzuka. So I thought, okay, fair enough. Maybe he was more hurt than we thought, because obviously if he wasn't hurt, he would have been in the race today. But it was a hard shunt. And with Singapore, I believe it was something like if it was something like Spa or Silverstone, I believe he would have came back the next day and race. But because Singapore, you need to be at your fittest, you need to be at your sharpest, you need to be ready to race. That's, I reckon, his doctor probably suggested to him, no, leave this one out, because next week you got Singapore, next week you got Suzuka. Leave this one out because we know how it drains you. You lose 2 pints of water in the race. So if you're losing 2 pints of water, and you've had an injury the day before, I wouldn't suggest. I'm not a doctor. I know nothing about medical issues, but I would not suggest to anybody to go race if you've had a big shunt. So, big up to John Conway. Big up to John Conway. See the chat room. I got in the chat. Where's the chat room? Yep, big up John Conway. Big up, bro. Solar P1 at Toto. I'm following you on Twitter. Big up, bro. I'll DM you on Twitter later, guys. Okay, I'll DM you on Twitter, and we're getting a group together for football and Formula One. It's going to be on a platform of my choice, and I will let you know in the chat. I will DM you later, Steve. What's your name on Twitter, by the way, bro? So I know if it's the same name as your YouTube. But anyway, let's get on back onto this. Hi, Steve. Hi, I'm on new subscriber. I love your video. So can I please have a shout out? Yeah, big up, bro. You just got one. So
big up.
Let's get back to the Grand Prix. So Q2, another. This is when in the situation with Tsunoda, basically impeded Lewis Hamilton first, and then he impeded Tsunoda. He got away with it because his team principal didn't turn up of AlphaTauri, because basically let Max off, because basically AlphaTauri is a second Red Bull team. So the race, we had the race. Now we're going to go to the race. Lights out of the way we go. Lewis had an amazing start. This is where I thought something was weird, because Lewis had an amazing start. He started off in 5th place. He had an amazing start, Lewis Hamilton. He jumped Lando Norris clean.
Yeah.
Clean. I don't care what. Look, got 8 people in that. Big up. He jumped Lewis Hamilton jumped Lando Norris clean. Clean. That's it, man. It's clean. Right? Now, he didn't try and take him on the corner. He passed him before he got to the corner, Lewis Hamilton did. And then he tried to do it with Russell, but he ran out of road and then went wide. So I was thinking straight away, he has to give that spot back to George Russell.
To Russell, yeah.
Okay, innit? So when you saw that, what did you think, Toto? Because I'm talking too much, sorry.
Yeah, I don't understand why he gave the position back to Lando, to be honest, because he passed Lando, and yeah, he got tightened up with Lando. He was ahead, and then he went onto runoff area. And the FIA have obliged that if you go off to that turn one of runoff area, you have to go to the right, the bollard, and then you rejoin the track. And then that's so. If you do gain an advantage off the runoff area, of course, you got to give that back. Even though you went to the right of the bollard, you have to give it back. But if you're ahead of the driver and you go off, you're allowed to do that because you went to the right of the bollard.
Exactly.
You're losing time because usually the runoff area, you go on, go straight off with no bollard there. Yes. With this runoff area, you have to like make it. You have to turn. You turn to the right of the bollard, and then you're back on track again. So you lose a bit of time there, but he didn't really get an advantage over Lando, in my opinion. So I don't think he should have gave the spot back to Lando. Russell, that was a bit questionable because look, he was alongside Russell, but I don't think he was actually fully ahead of Russell. So he took the runoff area, and he took him. He didn't even keep position. He took Russell on a runoff area, and it was just fully ahead when he was on a runoff area. And Russell had to turn the corner. So, look, he did get an advantage. He did gain some time off that runoff area with Russell. And, I think that Russell, he should have gave it back. But Lando, I don't think he should have.
I totally agree with you, Toto, and probably Sporty Boy as well. I'm not sure if Sporty Boy's there. Sporty Boy, what did you think of that situation? I'm not sure if you're still there. I know you was having audio technical difficulties. But what do you think of the incident regarding Lewis Hamilton at the beginning when he jumped Lando Norris fair because there was a car's width and he was in front, and then he tried to jump Russell, but he ran out of road and that's why he went wide. I understand with the part like you said, giving the position back to Russell, but Lando Norris, no way. To me, why would he give it back? He was in front. And if you watch the end of the race when they go in the green room, if you know when the drivers talk in the green room, you actually saw Lando Norris talking with Sainz, and they basically was saying, "Oh yeah, there was nothing wrong with it." And then they realised that was on TV. They looked round, and then they stopped talking. So, what did you think of that situation at the beginning, Sporty Boy, regarding Lewis Hamilton?
I I'm being honest. I didn't really watch the beginning of the race. I started
Yeah,
watching it
okay,
like
fair
lap
enough.
20,
Fair enough. Yeah.
so I didn't really see him much. But I saw
Fair enough.
when
Fair
I
enough.
was in. I saw when I was in like in the room. Yeah, and as soon as like the camera put towards Science and Lando, he just stopped talking because I think what I said earlier. Science was trying to help Lando in the race.
Yeah. So fair enough. So basically, we're gonna get on to yeah, okay, fair enough. So I'm gonna skip to lap 20 now because between the beginning and lap 20, nothing really happened. So I didn't really put anything in my notes. So lap 20, I think he smashes his nose safety car. What's his name? I think he was the one who smashed his nose. I forgot.
Logan Sargent.
Yeah, that's it. I got it on here. Sorry. My picture's a bit static. But Logan Sargent smashed his nose. It's always a bit shame for Logan Sargent. That's happening to him regular. I'm not sure if his seat is safe for next season, because there was rumors that there was going to bring Mick Schumacher back into the F1 and probably replace Logan Sargent. And it's kind of a shame, but it was a shame that they got rid of Mick Schumacher, because I believe that they should have gave Mick Schumacher a chance at Haas, because good to start no excuse for getting rid of Mick Schumacher was he smashed the car. Excuse me, do you remember a guy called Roman Grosjean who used to smash his car every single race? Every race,
No.
Remember? And they still kept him for 3 or 4 years, maybe because he was paying the team. Maybe he had some money, some backing behind him, because we know that the Haas team is very low on funds. But anyway, they brought out the safety car. Lap 21, Leclerc pit delay. So basically, they brought in Leclerc on lap 21. This was the lap after the safety car come out. They pitted Leclerc. Leclerc came in for the hard tyres, but he was delayed by about 10 seconds. I'm not sure if that's precise, but it was kind of around about that time. Alonso got a 5-second time penalty for crossing the pit lane. So, Total Hammer, this is a clear and cut rule, really, isn't it? And cut rule. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious why he got the penalty, in my opinion. You went too fast into the pit lane entry. Going into the last turn of Singapore, the fast bend where Stroll crashed. I think he went a bit too fast in the pit lane, and then he had to go off. So where the pit lane is, it's kind of a little bit of a blind spot because of that fast bend and the pit lane just on the left side of the track, the far left. So you went quick into the pit lane entrance.
Yeah,
he tried to brake and he locked up, and then went over the Sausage curves where the pit lane line is, and he rejoined into the pit lane entrance, which you can't do. So you had to do, to avoid the penalty, he had to do another lap to avoid the penalty, because he rejoined the pit lane entry when he fully went off the pit lane line, and you cannot do that. So yeah, it's a clean cut, that penalty is. Yeah,
it was a clean cut penalty. Shame for Alonso. He still got the trolls online trying to troll him and saying, "Oh, you're not going to win another race or not going to get another podium." I don't know what that hate is towards Alonso. Alonso is an amazing driver. He's absolutely spot on driver. One of the greatest driver to ever go in the Formula One car. For me, Lewis Hamilton and I'd say Lewis Hamilton, Alonso are the 2 best drivers on the grid, in my opinion. A lot of people are going to say some others, but that's my opinion, and I'll stick to it. But there's a lot of people online, a lot of people on social media believes that you can't like both, but I do. Just say. So we've got 5-second top penalty for Alonso. Lando nearly went into the back of Norris, because Lando, not know what I'm talking about, went into the back of to Lewis. Lando Norris. So Lando nearly went to the back of Norris. Lando nearly well into the back of Lewis. He was chasing Lewis, and he nearly, when he locked up, didn't go into the barrier, just scathed it. Lap 43, virtual safety car come out. This is where everything started to get excited, and I was saying, finally, Mercedes have got it right. Finally. They double stacked the Mercedes at the perfect time because when the virtual safety car first come out, they just missed the pits, and that wasn't really Mercedes' fault. It just happened. Maybe the FIA were looking at the rules and saying, "Yeah, wait for Mercedes to go past." Yeah. Now bring it out. Know what they're doing. You know how it is. So lap 43, they double stacked the 2 Mercedes cars. What did you think of this, Sporty Boy? Are you still there? What do you think of this, Toto? When they double stacked the Mercedes on lap 43 when the virtual safety car. No, it was lap 45 that they double stacked them, but the virtual safety car come out at lap 43. What did you think of this double stack?
Yeah, before Sporty Boy has his view on it. I think the double stack was actually the right choice. I think they got a bit lucky as well because the Ferrari pit box was right behind the Mercedes pit box.
It's a safety car. Everybody gets lucky on the safety car.
Yeah, I know, but there was a bit of traffic between Ferrari and Mercedes.
Yeah.
Ferrari,
there was the delayed.
Sainz went out all perfect.
Yeah.
And then Hamilton, as he was going into the pit lane, the Mercedes pit box is right in front of the Ferrari pit box. So as Leclerc went in and Hamilton went in, Leclerc had to stall for a bit to allow Hamilton to go into the pit box. And Hamilton took very, very slow to go into the pit box because he had to move his way out.
Navigate. Yeah.
So look, Hamilton went
into
the pit box.
But they did delay the Ferrari still. And plus, they delayed Alonso as well. So Alonso got delayed and Leclerc. So that helped out Mercedes as well.
There was general problems in the pits. Yeah. And there was some traffic problems in the pits. So that's what I think about it. Hamilton, it was a good strategy on Mercedes.
So what do you think, Sporty Boy? Thought it was a good strategy by Mercedes, Sporty Boy?
To be honest, I think it was an alright strategy. But
they had no choice, really.
They did. They really had no choice. I think that was the last choice that they had. But I think they did the pit right. They came in at the same time, nailed the pit lane speed, and the time was amazing. And I think it was a good strategy for the Mercedes.
Cool, man. Cool. So, cool, man. Let me just get my notes up there, finish them off there. So basically, when they brought why Mercedes were clever as well, and this played into Mercedes strategy because we all know before the race at the end of qualifying what did they keep saying on the internet? What did they keep saying in the paddock? They kept saying Mercedes were the only teams to have the 2 fresh medium tires, and this is where it paid off. They came in. You want to continue going? Do you remember with the medium tires gone, Toto?
Yeah, they went into the mediums and they were
the only team.
The likes of Max as well started on the hards stayed out. But when the safety car hit, this is when you had to pit for tyres.
They were the only team with the fresh medium tyres out of everybody.
Because they brought the most. They brought the most sets to the weekend, and that was good for Mercedes. And of course, other teams only brought like 1 or 2 sets, but Mercedes brought lots and lots of sets of medium, so they're going for like a really, really softer compound. So did they start on the hard tyres?
No, I think Mercedes started off on the medium tyres, I think. Then they went to, I'm not sure, I think it was the medium tyres they started on, but I think it was the medium tyres. And then they went to the hard. And then the virtual safety car come out, and then they went in for the medium.
Yeah, that's the one. I think that's the one.
Max started on the hard because I think
Mercedes. So I think Mercedes' strategy is getting a bit better.
When the double stacked, Toto, when the double stacked, it reminded me of the old days when it was
Hungry.
When it was Lewis and Bottas when they used to double stack and you could beat them. They remember how good they were back in the day. Remember, Sporty Boy, how good Mercedes back in the day with the strategy, and all of a sudden they just capitulated. But this was amazing, and I think that Mercedes are on the way up. With the team, you can see that the car's getting there now. And when next year comes, when they got the new concept, when it's like the Red Bull, the shape or whatever it is, it's good. And the reason why, by the way, if anybody wants to know, whoever's in the chat, whatever, if anybody wants to know, they're watching this on the replay. The reason why the Red Bull car, has suddenly lost pace is for two reasons. One, the front wing, the FIA or the steward, the FIA brought in new rules, just two little mini rules that the cars have to have a stiffer front nose, and the rear car, the rear wing has to be more stiffer. And that's the only and them two little things is the reason why the Red Bull car has lost a bit of pace. The front nose and the rear wing. Because I heard that yesterday on Ted's notebook. That's the reason why the car has suddenly slowed down. Because Red Bull was saying we haven't done nothing to the car, nothing mechanically. All we've done is follow the rules, what was given to us. And that's the reason why their car is suffering at Singapore. Now, do I think it's going to suffer after? Like at Suzuka? I don't know. But that's the reason why it suffered at this track. And for me, it's all good because we had a fun race and it wasn't Red Bull winning every single race. So you had the last few laps. There was 15 laps to go. Round about 15 laps ago, you had Sainz, Russell, Hamilton. There was all out there. So basically, Sainz was in front. You had Lando Norris. Then you had George Russell. And then you had Lewis Hamilton. What did you think, Sporty Boy, at the end when you had the four guys driving? You had the three Brits behind Sainz.
Yeah. What
did you think of this, Sporty Boy? What was you thinking at the time?
I was thinking at the time, can we get the free British podium? It was intense. It was intense, man. I was flipping. I was going mad. I thought we was going to get the
because you kept texting me.
Yes. Yeah, it was going mad. It was going really mad. But yeah, it was good at the end. It was really good. It could have been the free British podium, but at the end, I think as I was saying earlier, Carlos was helping Nando. But yeah, that's what I gotta say. It was good at the end though.
Yeah, it was an exciting finish to the race.
Yeah.
I thought Sainz's tyres were going to go. I know everybody knows Russell. When Russell races, he puts a lot of pressure on his tyres. Russell was going for it. That's why he was good in qualifying as well. I remember we had to go back to qualifying as well. Qualifying, Russell got the second because he was putting pressure on his tyres, putting loads of pressure on his tyres. And that's the reason why. That's Russell for you. He goes all in. He goes all in. He doesn't mess about. And that's what he was doing with the race. He had the pressure of Lewis Hamilton behind him. Lewis Hamilton was behind him, putting the pressure on him. Lewis was actually faster than George. The last four drivers, Lewis Hamilton was the fastest sporty. Well, what do you reckon? Because he kept coming up on the clocking up on the time. They kept saying that Lewis Hamilton, he got the fastest lap at the end. So it proves that he had the pace in the car. So what do you think of Lewis Hamilton getting fastest lap? Do you think he's still got it? But don't you think that was an achievement at the end, getting fastest lap? So he had the four guys at the end and he was going the fastest. What do you think?
For sure. Lewis Hamilton he was like a bomb. He was flying through that pack like nothing, yeah. At the fastest lap at the end, it proved that he has a better car. And I think if it was like 10 laps more, I think Lewis Hamilton could have got the first place, in my opinion. But it proves that Lewis Hamilton's car is getting better. That's why he got the fastest lap.
Look, it's the driver as well, because Lewis Hamilton and George Russell both got equal cars, but obviously it goes down to the setup. But George Russell, in the end, for me, I think the reason why he hit the barrier, I saw him hit the barrier. He just scuffed the barrier, and that was his race over at the end, which is a shame. Yeah. It was a shame, but at the end of the day, Lewis Hamilton got the podium. I believe Lewis Hamilton deserved the podium. It was faster than Russell. He was absolutely amazing in the car. It was actually amazing in the car. And I believe that Lewis Hamilton deserved the penalty. Maybe Russell scuffed the car because the pressure was on him behind him by Lewis, because Lewis was going to make the move anyway. I think there was about a few last lap. I think Lewis would have made the move anyway. Lewis was sizing him up. and he knew Lewis was sizing it up. And I believe at the end, George just flapped it a bit, and that's why he scuffed the barrier. What do you think of the move, Toto? With what do you think of the move on George Russell? You know, when George Russell went into the barrier, he scuffed the barrier. I believe it was pressure from Lewis Hamilton. What do you think?
Yeah, because like Hamilton was gaining, man. Hamilton was gaining a lot behind Russell.
Yeah.
And look, you can see after like top, the brakes were cooked. The brakes were cooked. They were on fire, and you had to get the marshal to take the fire out. And yeah, look, the brakes were cooked, man. And you can see how Hamilton's good at time management.
Of course.
And how intelligent he is as a driver. And that's why he used to go to Formula One.
Yeah.
So look, Hamilton, he was putting a lot of pressure on Russell, you know. And
yeah.
I'm not saying
that's why he kind of flakes at the end.
I'm not saying that Russell can't take pressure. I'm not saying he can't feel pressure. But look, every driver can feel pressure in that situation. Last laps, Sainz has basically won the race. Sainz all
again, he was towing Lando. He was towing Lando.
Yeah, he was towing Lando.
And he admitted it at the end as well. There you go. So I'm going to bring up the results of the qualifying, and now I'm going to bring up the result for the race as well. Let me just put the screen on so we can present this screen. Share the screen. Let's just find it. Where's it gone? There we go. There you go. So there we go. We've got the... Let's take this thing off so we can see the barrier. Total Hammer, this is the results. And Sporty Boy. Let me just bring the screen a bit more closer. There you go. I'm going to bring the screen a little bit more closer. There you go. There you go. So, this is qualifying. It was Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz got first and pole. Second was George Russell. Third was Charles Leclerc. Fourth was Lando Norris. Fifth place was Lewis Hamilton. Sixth place was Kevin Magnussen. Seventh place was Fernando Alonso. Eighth place was Esteban Ocon. Ninth place was Hulkenberg. 10th place was Liam Lawson. I got big up respect for Liam Lawson. Big up. What is AlphaTauri going to do there? Because they brought him in to replace Daniel Ricciardo, because Daniel Ricciardo broke his hand. Now he's outperforming that car. What did I do? I don't think they're going to get rid of Daniel Ricciardo. I think Tsunoda's career might be on the line at AlphaTauri, because Lawson is doing amazing in Formula One. We know how Formula One is a cutthroat business. We know that Red Bull are very, very, they don't care who they cut. They cut people for fun. And I think Liam Lawson is an amazing driver, and I think he might keep that drive. 11th place was Max Verstappen, which I was very happy about. 12th place was Pierre Gasly. 13th place was Sergio Perez. 14th place was Alexander Albon. 15th place was Yuki Tsunoda. 16th place was Valtteri Bottas. 17th place was Oscar Piastri. 18th place was Logan Sargent. 19th place was Guan Yu Zhou. And 20th place was Lance Stroll. So we're going for the race results. I'm going to bring that as well so I can bring the screen a bit closer so you can see that. There you go. Let's just bring that out a bit. Yeah, there you go. So we've got Carlos Sainz got the win. Carlos Sainz got the win. Lando Norris was second. Third place was Lewis Hamilton. So we've got two Brits on the podium. I wanted three, but it never happened. Fourth place, Charles Leclerc. Fifth place, Max Verstappen. Sixth place, Pierre Gasly. Seventh place, Oscar Piastri. Eighth place, Sergio Perez. Ninth place, Liam Lawson. 10th place, Kevin Magnussen. 11th place, Alexander Albon. 12th place, Guan Yu Zhou. 13th place, Nico Hülkenberg. 14th place, Logan Sargent. 15th place, Fernando Alonso. 16th place, George Russell. And the three DNS were Valtteri Bottas, Esteban Ocon, and Yuki Tsunoda. You know what? I didn't even know Bottas broke down, bro. Serious talk. I didn't even know Bottas broke down. And who got the fastest lap? It goes to
Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton got the driver. He never got driver of the day. He should have got driver of the day, but he got the fastest lap, and that was an amazing race by Lewis Hamilton. It was an amazing race by the guys at Mercedes, and that's it, man. That's the end of it, really. So tomorrow we're going to be doing a debrief. So anyone who wants to come along, we're doing a debrief tomorrow. You could come along and we just talk about the strategy part. It's kind of boring, but we like it. So you can look out for the channel for that. Hit the subscribe on Sporty Boy's channel. Actually, I'll let Sporty Boy talk to you. And hit the subscribe on Total Hammer. So Sporty Boy, do you want to plug your channel before we go, bro? Or do you want me to do it? Go
Now
for it, Sporty boy.
So go follow him on Twitch, YouTube, that's all, and Twitter, Discord. It's all the same, Sporty Boy. Go subscribe to all of them and follow to all of them, and Twitter as well. I know it's called X, but I just call it Twitter still. But yeah, guys, go follow all them channels.
Toto, you want to plug your channel?
Yeah, go follow me on YouTube. I did have a F1 watch along on there, but I don't know what happened with that. Difficulties, you know how it is. So yeah, yeah.
Right.
Hit the subscription.
I'll just figure out what you were talking about then.
Yeah, hit the subscription, hit the like. I'm on Twitter at TotoHammer44. Go follow me on there. I might be opening a new Discord server. Solo is actually opening up a new Discord server, so go DM us if you want to join our Discord because I'm admin, he's server owner. So yeah, so we basically all got privilege to own the whole server. So feel free to DM us about Discord. And
so lads, we're going now. It's Sunday. I need to go and yam some chicken. See you later, guys. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Let me just play the music before I go. Let me just put the music on, man. Let's put the music on. There you go. Big up, guys. I'll leave you out in a bit. See you later, guys. Bye.